This is not just the best beginner's harmonica, this is the best harmonica for everyone. For such a price, there's no reason not to get it. First of all, let's get it out of the way. This video is not sponsored. I am not affiliated by any harmonica company. I am just a harmonica player like you who wants to play the best gear at the best price. And after 12 years of playing the harmonica, a year and a half ago, pretty much by coincidence, I saw this very beautiful harmonica online for 30 bucks and I said, whatever, let's order it. And if you've been following my channel, in the last year and a half, you would see that 80%, around 80% or 90% of the time in the videos, I am playing this model. I fell in love with it from the first day. So much that I actually, as you see, I'm still holding it, but just recently I bought a whole 12 key set, which I never had a 12 key set because I never really wanted to commit like this for any harmonica model, and I just like to have a bunch of models, but then I'm like, all right, I love this enough, let's just get all the keys in this one. This is the Easttop Lightning. What I love about it, first of all, when you hold it for the first time, you will see it just feels heavier and really solid in the hands, I think because it's made from certain type of steel. It responds extremely fast. Even before you touch it, before you do any reed gapping, just give it the first 1 or 2 days to open up when you get it, and then it just responds beautifully. And at least personally for me, the thing that I'm most looking for in a harmonica and makes it really fun for me to play is how fast it responds. And when it responds really fast, you can just become one with the instruments. It's not slow to respond to your playing, but it's playing with you. It's easy to bend. Has this beautiful, bright, shiny sound that I personally really like. It also feels very airtight, unlike, for example, very cheap harmonicas that are basically, I think, unusable because when you play them, you literally hear your air coming out actually to the sides of the harmonica and above the reeds and not really going into making the sound. So this one is really airtight. And also, as I said, it's just very pretty. At least I really like this combination of the silver and the blue. And another thing that I learned about it is that this specific harmonica, the one in the key of C, which was the first one that I got, it's also very durable because it was in my pocket for most of the last year and a half and I've played it every day and it just plays as fast and as new as it was in the first few days. Hey everyone, just real quick, last week after a year and a half of work, I released my new harmonica app to both app stores. It's called Harmonica in 7 Days. It is free to download and you can watch dozens of lessons for free. You have a songbook there with tabs to many awesome songs. And if you want to learn more seriously, this is where also you can find my courses about blues, about playing your favorite songs beautifully. Check it out. Now, I do also want to say that this harmonica really benefits from reed gapping. Just like any harmonica, it's sort of a process that you make. It will take you around 20 minutes, even if you do that for the first time, 30 minutes max. It's pretty technical, but I have an explanation of this on this video on my channel. And basically, I highly recommend it also on this one, but even without doing reed gapping, it's just great. And with this new set that I got, I initially thought, wow, that would be a lot of time to do reed gapping to all those harmonicas. But 1 month later with this set, I'm just like, I don't feel any need to do it. They respond super fast anyways. So this is about it. And another, I can say, caveat about this harmonica, or sort of a con, is that because of the shiny finish, so it sort of picks up smudges, but I don't think it's a big deal, you know, compared to, for example, the Honor crossover, which has a bit less of a shiny finish. So this is one thing. I don't care about it too much. It also doesn't get super dirty at all. Anyways, I want to let you decide on your own and hear on your own the difference in the different sounds. I would argue that, at least in my personal taste, it sounds and definitely also feels better than the Honor crossover, which is one of the Honor flagships, costs $80. So it's more than twice the price of the Easttop Lightning. And I think it's definitely better than the Honor Blues Harp, which is, I think, one of the best-selling models. That's the model that was my favorite for years. It costs right now on Amazon around $55. And another model that I bought here for the comparison is a lower price model, but just a little bit. So the Easttop 008L is basically just the same model as the 008K, which became extremely popular over the last few years. And many harmonica channels have been recommending it. including me, because it was the first time that for around $20 you can get a harmonica that is actually usable and you can actually play it. So it's basically the same as the 008K, just a different color. However, after I tried the Lightning, which is just a couple more dollars more than the 008K, I'm just thinking, hey, for such price there's really no need to stop at this like entry-level harmonica, because for $30 you get what I feel, at least for me, my personal taste, is a top-of-the-line harmonica. Now you do want to notice that over time, over the years, the prices of harmonica are going up, and also just like the 008L rose from around $20 to $25 now, and now the only Easttop Lightning that you can get still for $30 is the key of C, and I think maybe a couple of other keys, but most keys go for something like 38. So this is just something that is important to pay attention to. Let's move on to the comparisons and let's hear them. And with each one of them, I'm just going to play a little bit of blues, a little bit of folk. I'm going to play the piano solo. It's sort of a folky sound. It really kind of a solo that also resembles of the Bob Dylan sound and the Neil Young solos sound. And also I'm going to play a single note melody with the song What a Wonderful World. So let's do it on all the harmonicas. Let's start with the Honor Blues harp. So What a Wonderful World. Now the Lightning. The crossover, $80. And again, the Lightning. And the last one, 008L. And the Lightning last time. On to some blues. Let's start with the blues harp. Crossover. Back to the Lightning. Made the lick a bit different, but you get the point. And this one. This is it for some blues, and now the Piano Man solo. Let's start again with the blues harp. Lightning. Again, I'm letting you decide, but at least to my ears, this one sounds the most colorful, the most lively, the most open. And here's the crossover. And by the way, this crossover is also after reed gapping. It should be at its best. Back to the Lightning. And the last Easttop. And back to the Lightning one last time. By the way, just an important side note, if you're seeing those 12 keys and you're thinking, oh, I now have to buy 12 keys. No, don't worry about it. I am around 80% or 90% of the time, I'm playing the key of C. I think it's the key with the most balanced sound. At least for me, it's the most fun to play. It's great both for blues and for playing songs. But as a professional harmonica player, when I get called to sessions and to play solos on other records, etc., I always have to be ready with all the keys, because music and songs come in 12 different keys. So even though the key of C is very common, sometimes you're going to have to play in other keys. Also, if you want to jam, to be able to jam with all of your favorite songs on YouTube or Spotify, you want to have all the keys, but many of them you would barely get to play them because these are very rare keys You don't really need to play often. But anyways, this is just for people who want to be extremely ready. But if you're a beginner, just get one in the key of C. You would be good to go. All the lessons that you would find online refer to having a harmonica in the key of C. I also have a video on my channel which explains the harmonica keys thing in more detail. But just to sum it up, you can play the tabs of any song that you choose to play on your harmonica in the key of C. The only time when it matters to actually have the proper harmonica key for a certain song is if you're playing with the band, if you're playing with the background music, if you want to play with the original song from YouTube playing in the background. So if you have a wrong key, that would sound weird. But as long as there is no background music, you can play with your key of C any song that exists in the world. And this is it basically. I also want to say that it sounds beautiful when it is amplified, and you can see on some bunch of videos that I've made lately playing more with this amplified sound. So just really fun with this harmonica. I will make a video soon about amps and microphones because I got to do some really interesting revelations about this in the last few months after testing a bunch of stuff. And by the way, over there I was also surprised again by the Chinese offerings that are offering microphones. This is a wireless microphone here and my wireless transmitter that are just much better than much more expensive options from the Western world. And this just brings me to summarize it basically that a few years ago, I was also, first of all, thinking that you gotta pay at least around $50 to play a worthy harmonica, which that was the reality. And I was also thinking, oh, I'm never gonna play Chinese. This is like cheap stuff and probably it sucks. And you know, once you get over that pride and you try some of their products, I don't even care if the name of the company would be China.com, as long as it feels and sounds better, that's just a better product. And this is what I came to discover when I gave a chance to the Chinese instruments. They just make everything way cheaper and in many cases actually better. And I think for us, the consumers, it's great. So even though it's not a German instrument, who cares? It just sounds better, feels better, and the price is around half price. So these are my 2 cents. And I think also that the beautiful thing about it is that there's no such thing, I think, anymore as a beginner harmonica, because it's $30 and you get really an amazing instrument. So why wouldn't you spend $30? One more thing I want to say is that oftentimes it's really hard to find. I don't know why, but Easttop doesn't really advertise it as Easttop Lightning. And sometimes if you Google that, Easttop Lightning, you don't really find any results. So I am linking below to a link on Amazon, which currently works, which sells this harmonica. I hope they will not make it this hard to get. And by the way, also using this link, you would support this channel because I get a small commission from it. This price is the same to you. So this is it.